What is up, my people? I'm Ryan and I have been hacking things my whole life. Thank you so much for being here. Today it doesn't matter what day it is and it doesn't matter what time it is. Today we're going to be making leather coasters. These are things that you can do with an X-Acto blade and some leather. I got this from Craigslist or online somewhere. I'm going to show you all the mistakes like I show you in every one of my videos. That's what it's all about. Done is better than perfect. I'm going to show you basically not to use blue tape because it pulls off the finish. Don't use your own name. For some reason, I was so distracted by my last name, I screwed up the cut line and the score line. That one didn't work. And then here I started to realize that the logo needed to be a little bit bigger. So I got the logo bigger here. You can see that I switched over the masking tape, but I didn't know how to sew yet. So remember, it's an industrial sewing machine that's sewing through thick leather. And here I did my best and I got it as close as I could, and I'm really happy because done is better than perfect. But don't worry, I'm not going to do any of that regretful dancing that I did in the last video. Let's get going with this. Wait, maybe. So I want you to leave this video with more information, and when you do this project, you can do it a little bit easier. Okay, in the intro, I mentioned if you are trying to design something, you could actually put it out on paper. You can print this out on paper and get the design right. You don't need to do expensive leather and get your design wrong. Print it out on paper and then cut it out and live with it. So before you go this step, I was practicing sewing, so you're looking at all of my mistakes here that I'm going to share with you. The sewing machine is extremely relaxing. You're either going to sew in your life or you're not. But the laser cutter can actually put in each one of the holes, or you can punch the holes or use a special leather tool. It depends what you want to get involved. You don't need the stitch. You could just literally put a piece of square and etch it. You don't even need the etching. This video is really about what could you potentially do with using leather, and if you want that cool stitch look like a wallet or a purse or a handbag, designer shoes, whatever you want to do, you can cut out the material. Usually things like apparels and things like that are 2D, and unlike tennis shoe parts, maybe not, they're molded. But you can sew them and create forms with leather. So if you're going to etch designs, don't use blue tape like I talked to you about. Make sure that you print out the design prior so that you don't do it on expensive leather. And the sewing, just buy a used machine that sews leather. You're gonna love it. It is so fun and therapeutic. If you are a maker, you're gonna love having an industrial grade sewing machine, and they're available now, so you just have to look. I bought mine. All the oil spilled out in my on the driveway when I picked it up. It was much heavier than I thought. It's right below me, below this actual stand that I use. So I really find that to be one of my best investments. So I think that the masking tape, the jumbo masker that I put next to my Glowforge is probably the most significant thing if you want to coat the leather, but cutting it out in the leather is the final step. Okay, and the last thing that I want to share with you, because I want this video to be quick and informative, is the settings inside of the Glowforge and the laser cutter. The settings that I use is obviously I etched it. I'm putting the settings up because I don't remember them. I'm just putting them. I'm going to add that to the screen right now. And the thing that I did differently is at the very end cut, I doubled up in Illustrator. I doubled up this square, the outside cut square, okay? And I made it a different color so I could run a separate finish pass on the outside. So in case, for instance, in this one, I wasn't getting that clean edge that I wanted to get. So I added an extra square around it, and that was what I did with the finished cut. I think I did around 160 speed with 75 power or something like that. I'm showing you the settings right now on the screen. But anyways, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you want to have a discussion, if this is in the community and Glowforge community, or if it's in YouTube, wherever it is, let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the cool things that we could make with leather. You can find leather, an old leather coat at Goodwill, and you can cut that up. You wouldn't believe they're like $7. So, and then just, if you find it, just cut it up and then roll it up next to your stock material. All right, that's it, guys. Hang in there. And whatever you do, make something that connects someone. Love you. Bye.